Soto. Girls, take your seats. Boys, close the windows. Then the world went black. Betty Maroney was 7. It was March 18, 1925, DeSoto, Illinois. The fastest, longest-lived tornado ever recorded, on the ground for 3.5 hours across 3 states at up to 73 miles an hour. No warning system existed that year. The word tornado wasn't even allowed in official forecasts. Panic risk, they said. The school partly collapsed on the children inside. 33 died. Still the worst single-school death toll in U.S. history. 2 were her sisters. She crawled out and asked a stranger if the world had ended. Just a tornado, he said. She'd never heard the word. 695 dead. Still the deadliest tornado America has ever recorded. Maroney lived to 103. Natchez. The river was the safest place in town, until it wasn't. May 7, 1840, Natchez, Mississippi. A tornado tore through the riverfront, capsizing dozens of flatboats and steamboats moored along the Mississippi. Most of the dead were boatmen and laborers, working the docks when the funnel hit without warning. The storm also leveled sections of the city itself, including the courthouse roof. Official counts logged 317 dead. Historians now believe the real number is higher. Many of the drowned were enslaved laborers, never formally counted in the toll. Still the second deadliest tornado in U.S. history. Most of its victims were never named. Cadell, May 20th. 3 years running. Same town, same date, same storm. Codell, Kansas, population under 300, took a direct tornado hit on May 20th, 1916. Then again on May 20th, 1917. Then a third time, May 20th, 1918. Each one tracked in from nearly the same direction, on the same calendar date, year after year. The third was the worst, an F4 that leveled most of what residents had already rebuilt twice. Meteorologists studying the case decades later called it one of the strangest coincidences in recorded weather history. Statisticians ran the odds of 3 separate tornadoes hitting one small town on the same date in consecutive years. Astronomically small. Nobody in Codell could explain it. Nobody still can. 6 dead across the 3 storms. Most families left after the third one. The town never fully rebuilt. Population today, under 100. Gainesville. The fire alarm went off after the tornado already took the building down. April 6, 1936, Gainesville, Georgia. 2 tornadoes converged on the town within minutes of each other. An almost unheard-of pairing. One tore directly through downtown. The Cooper Pants factory, a multi-story cotton mill packed with workers, collapsed floor through floor, pancaking the structure onto itself. Then the wreckage caught fire. Workers trapped under the rubble. Some still alive, burned before rescue crews could reach them. Survivors above ground could hear voices calling out from underneath, then nothing. Firefighters had no way to separate rescue from recovery. They were pulling bodies and survivors from the same collapsed floors at the same time. 203 dead town-wide, still the 4th deadliest tornado in U.S. history. 70 of those deaths were inside the factory alone. The mill was rebuilt within the year. Production resumed on the same floor. Double Creek, May 27, 1997, outside Jarrell, Texas. The Igo family sheltered exactly as instructed. Interior room, away from windows. Didn't matter. A photo of the storm's shifting, multi-legged funnel later earned it a name, Dead Man Walking. 38 homes stood in its path. After, none did. Just slabs, swept clean. No basements, standard for the area back then. 27 dead, Egos included, remained scattered across 30 sites. Cars thrown half a mile. Cattle stripped to bone. Identification took weeks. Some only by dental records. 3 minutes. That's all the tornado needed, sitting almost still over Double Creek Estates at F5 strength. Plaza Towers Hallway, May 20th, 2013, 3:01 p.m., Moore, Oklahoma. The EF5 hit while hundreds of students sat inside 2 elementary schools 2 miles apart. 7 children at Plaza Towers died, crushed under their own school. Parents got there before rescue crews, started pulling brick off kids with bare hands. Crews worked the rest for hours. Kids passed out through gaps, one at a time, while helicopters broadcast it live to the entire country. Knees down, hands over the head. The kids at Plaza Towers did everything right, and the wall came down on them anyway. 24 dead along that path through Moore, Briarwood Elementary, same storm, minutes earlier, 2 miles away. Not one child lost. El Reno. Tim Samaras spent 20 years staying ahead of tornadoes. May 31st, 2013, near El Reno, Oklahoma, one finally caught him. He ran Twistex. Probes dropped directly into a tornado's path to measure it from inside. A decade earlier, he'd logged the largest pressure drop ever recorded inside one, in Manchester, South Dakota. His son Paul filmed from the passenger seat. Meteorologist Carl Young rode behind them. El Reno turned out to be the widest tornado ever recorded, 2.6 miles at peak. Then it did what tornadoes almost never do. Changed direction without warning, doubling back on a path no model had predicted. Expanded fast, while researchers nearby were still repositioning to track it. The vehicle went under. All 3 died. Found nearly 2 miles from their last radio call. 8 dead from El Reno that day. Samaras, his son, and Young remain the only professional storm researchers ever killed by a tornado they were actively studying. Rangeline Road. A bungee cord. That's what Chris Lucas had to keep 19 people alive. He managed the Pizza Hut on Rangeline Road, Joplin, Missouri, May 22, 2011. The night an EF5 hit the city head-on. He packed his whole shift into the walk-in freezer. Foam insulation dressed up as concrete, survivors said later. Door wouldn't latch. So he tied the cord to the handle, braced it against his shoulder, held the door shut by force. The tornado tore the door open anyway, took him with it. 4 others in that freezer died beside him. 15 who stayed lived, twice in one night. 28 dead from the first tornado. 16 more from the second, 30 minutes behind it. Same path, same town. April 3, 1974. Limestone County, Alabama, 5:15 p.m. The first storm carved 52 miles through Tanner, part of the largest tornado outbreak ever recorded up to that point. 148 tornadoes across 13 states in 16 hours. Survivors were still climbing out, still searching for family, when the second one formed off the same supercell. 2 of only 7 F5s confirmed that day. It hit mid-rescue, caught people who'd survived the first one out in the open. One man, injured already, had been carried to a church for shelter. The church came down on him in the second tornado. Investigators never sorted out, for several of the dead, which storm actually killed them. Tanner remains the only town confirmed hit by 2 F5 tornadoes in one day. Graduation day. Will Norton threw his cap with 444 classmates. An hour later, he was gone. May 22, 2011, Joplin, Missouri. Driving home from the ceremony with his father, Mark, when the storm hit, wrapped in so much rain it didn't look like a tornado from inside the car. Looked like weather. No warning. Mark grabbed his son as the car started to flip. The seatbelt, built to hold through a rollover, snapped under the load. Will went out through the sunroof, in front of his father, gone. They searched all night, found the car, cap still on the seat. 5 more days to find Will. A pond half a mile out. Mayfield. You leave, you're fired. That's what workers say they were told. 3 hours before the roof came down on them. December 10, 2021, Mayfield, Kentucky. Over 100 employees still on shift at the candle factory, finishing holiday orders when the tornado, 200 miles through the state and counting, finally reached them. Roof and walls down on the production floor. Workers pinned under brick, steel, machinery. Total dark, some for hours. 8 dead inside that building. Survivors sued. Flagrant indifference, the filing said. Company denied threatening anyone's job. Governor ordered a state investigation. OSHA fined them $40,000. 7 violations. The plant never went back up on that site. Worcester. New England didn't get tornadoes. That's what the textbook said. June 9, 1953, Worcester, Massachusetts. Local hills were supposed to break up any storm before it could form. Folklore repeated by meteorologists themselves. No warning system existed for the region. Nobody evacuated because nobody believed a tornado could reach them. It tracked 46 miles in F4 through some of the most densely populated parts of the state. Debris was found 100 miles out at sea. Hailstones fell with shards of glass and roofing nails embedded inside them, flung so high by the updraft they froze solid around debris before falling back down. 94 dead, still the deadliest tornado in New England history. Weather Service's overhauled tornado forecasting for the entire Northeast within 2 years.